Welcome to Daily Gossip. You will get daily Hollywood updates here. Remember to subscribe for the latest videos. In a world where fame often means surrendering every inch of your privacy, there's one woman who continues to strike a delicate balance between spotlight and solitude. Her name is Malia Ann Obama, and despite being the daughter of one of the most recognizable presidents in modern history, she has managed to carve out a path that is strikingly independent, fiercely creative, and, more recently, turning heads in a way that has caught the attention of the media and public alike. The latest photos of Malia Ann Obama, now 26 years old, have ignited a wave of online reactions, discussions, and yes, even controversy, all centered around one eye-catching observation: her huge size, as the tabloids put it, though that phrase belies the reality of her strikingly statuesque, commanding, and fashion-forward appearance. What does it mean when someone is criticized or celebrated for simply existing confidently in their own body? What does it say about our cultural obsession with celebrity, image, and control? Today, we unravel every thread of this story, from Malia's childhood in the White House to her evolution into an enigmatic, elegant force in Los Angeles. We will explore not just the photos, but the emotion, mystery, and empowerment behind the moment. Born on July 4th, 1998, Malia Obama's very birth date carried symbolism, Independence Day for America, and in some ways, a future icon for the daughters of democracy. She was just 10 years old when her father, Barack Obama, was elected President of the United States in 2008. The world first met Malia as a smiling, graceful young girl, standing beside her mother Michelle and younger sister Sasha on the campaign trail. With tightly styled braids and colorful dresses, she exuded the innocence and optimism of a child whose life was about to change forever. But behind the carefully curated photographs and press moments, Malia was still a kid growing up in the most powerful house in the world, surrounded by cameras, protocol, and pressure. Even then, the media could not resist speculating on everything from her clothes to her height to her mannerisms. It wasn't enough to be the president's daughter. She had to also be America's sweetheart, a symbol, and yet invisible. As she transitioned from childhood into her teenage years, the public scrutiny only intensified. Yet Barack and Michelle Obama remained steadfast in their desire to protect both Malia and Sasha from the harsh spotlight. They limited media access, discouraged press speculation, and made it clear that the girls were not to be used as political props. But no wall of privacy is perfect. Paparazzi still managed to grab shots of the girls on vacations, heading to school, or attending concerts with friends. And in those moments, Malia began to gain a quiet following, not just because of who she was, but because of who she was becoming. There was an air of mystery to her. She didn't speak to the press. She rarely posted on social media, and yet, every time she was seen, she had changed a little. She was growing taller, more confident, more fashionable. She wasn't just the president's daughter. She was becoming her own person. After graduating from the elite Sidwell Friends School in Washington, D.C., Malia went on to study at Harvard University, following in the academic footsteps of her parents. Her time at Harvard was marked by quiet brilliance and deliberate privacy. She interned at HBO's Girls, worked in the writer's room, on Donald Glover's show, and began to immerse herself in the world of storytelling. It was during these years that Malia's transformation into a creative force began to take shape. But it wasn't until she moved to Los Angeles after graduation that the world began to truly notice and speculate. Malia dropped her last name professionally, going by Malia Ann, signaling a powerful shift. She no longer wanted to be seen as just the daughter of Barack Obama. She was a writer, a filmmaker, a creator, and she was ready to let her work, her fashion, and her aura speak for itself. The recent paparazzi photos, taken in Los Angeles, show Malia strolling casually through the city. Coffee in hand, a phone to her ear, and an air of confidence that is both intoxicating and intimidating. What caught the media's attention wasn't a scandal, a meltdown, or a political statement. It was her size. But let's be clear, Malia wasn't huge in any sense that warrants shame or ridicule. What the photos actually revealed was a tall, confident, fashion-forward woman, embracing oversized silhouettes, dramatic layers, and vintage-inspired blazers that gave her a commanding presence. Her body, naturally statuesque and strong, was adorned in loose-fitting clothes that emphasized style and comfort over tight conformity. And yet, the headline screamed, "Malia Ann Obama flaunts her huge size." As if her body was an anomaly, as if existing proudly and comfortably in one's frame was something to be dissected, mocked, or applauded. The reality, Malia's size hasn't changed drastically. Her fashion has. And that shift speaks volumes. Like many Gen Z women, Malia is embracing oversized fashion trends that challenge the hyper-feminine, skin-tight expectations of the past decade. Wide-leg jeans, long trench coats, shoulder pads, and large sunglasses are all part of a style narrative that says, "I am not dressing for your gaze, I am dressing for me." In this new era of expressive fashion, size is not shame, it is presence. And Malia's presence is growing more magnetic with every appearance. The emotional response to these photos has been telling. Some fans rushed to defend Malia, praising her for looking real, strong, and authentic. Others tried to shame her, implying weight gain or letting herself go. But the truth is simpler. Malia is not a child anymore. She is not a White House prop. She is a woman with her own taste, her own voice, and her own body. To see her out in the world, unbothered by judgment, wearing what she wants, and walking like she owns every sidewalk, is an act of quiet rebellion. It is empowerment, and it is also a test for all of us. Can we let young women grow without trying to control or categorize them? Her mother, Michelle Obama, has long been a champion of body positivity and authenticity. Her influence on Malia is undeniable. Michelle once said, "Your story is what you have, what you will always have. It is something to own." Malia is owning her story. She is writing it, literally and figuratively, and she is refusing to shrink herself to fit into outdated molds. Her work as a screenwriter has already earned admiration within Hollywood's tight creative circles. She is said to be working on a coming-of-age series, exploring themes of identity, legacy, and reinvention, fitting topics for someone who has spent her life wrestling with those very ideas. As Malia continues to build her career and identity, the media must learn to catch up. She is not a body to be flaunted. She is not a size to be speculated about. She is a force, and she is not alone. In a generation where women like Zendaya, Billie Eilish, and Yara Shahidi are redefining what it means to be stylish, confident, and unapologetically themselves, Malia fits right in. She doesn't need Instagram filters or approval. She is the story, and the way she tells it, through fashion, silence, and creativity, is mesmerizing. The recent photos might have sparked headlines, but what they truly captured was a moment. A woman who has been watched since childhood is finally walking tall, unbothered, and powerful. She doesn't owe anyone an explanation. Her size is not the story. Her spirit is. As daily gossip, we stand not only to report, but to uplift. We see the beauty in transformation, the strength in silence, and the power in presence. Malia Ann Obama, at 26, is showing us all how to grow with grace, dress with intention, and live with purpose. So next time the tabloids scream about her, huge size, let's remember what that really means. It means she's taking up space. And that's exactly what she was meant to do.